This is how to recover from burnout. The past 4 weeks have been the most challenging time in my life in a very long time. In addition to final exams and projects, Columbia has been a very distressing environment to be in. If you haven't seen the news, I don't have the energy to explain what's going on, but I'll link some articles that do the job. However, I just finished my last assignment, the sun is out, and I finally feel like I can get my life together and recover from this burnout. I have 1 hour until I have to finish this paper. I finally finished my final assignment. I just sent it in and I feel so free. I could literally cry right now because it has been a really rough month, having a terrible time. If you want to recover from burnout, getting to the root of the cause is the key, which means if you're being overworked, you have to find some way to stop working or work less. I know that comes from a really privileged perspective because I know people have work and they can't always just stop working, but here are some things that you can do in the meantime to help you stay afloat or will truly help you get back on track if you do it with proper rest. First things first, tidy your spaces and get dressed. Obviously, I got dressed, halfway, and mostly for the sake of this video, but I want to say that it really helped me feel more like a human. I usually stay in my pajamas all day, every day, and that's very comfortable, but I don't think that helps with the problem at hand. Get out of bed, get dressed, make your bed, clean your room. Let's start with cleaning my room. Ta-da! Okay, I still need to fold that, which is fine. This needs to go into storage, and then I also need to donate some items in that pile, so I can't do that right now. But for the most part, my room is mostly tidy. Cleaning your room is the first step, but it's also just in general the first step of getting back into your routine. It's really hard to have any sense of routine when you're burnt out because it is just so hard to do anything, but we should try to have some things that really ground ourselves. Having your routine can include things like journaling or meditating, and I feel like it is really hard to take the first step to get back into those things, but it really does make a big difference once you do have the space to do it. Highly recommend journaling and meditating. Having someone to talk to is so important during this process, because if you're like me, I feel so much better and so much more energized after talking to my friends. I've been calling my mom a lot and talking to my sister, but also talk to a therapist or your therapist. I have a therapy appointment coming up right now, so let's get ready for therapy. Okay, if you don't have a therapist, would highly recommend seeking therapy, because my take is that I feel like everyone should see a therapist. It's a great form of maintenance, especially when I was particularly burnt out in the past month or so. I felt like speaking to a therapist was really helpful. It's there's a weight that's being lifted off my shoulders, and I understand my emotions and myself much better. As a result, I feel like I've become more compassionate about my emotions and understanding of emotions that I previously thought of as negative. So, talk to your therapist. I am putting on my face mask. I use this Aesop Chamomile Concentrate Anti-Blemish Mask. I have been breaking out, and doing masks has been a very helpful in rejuvenating not only my skin, but also internally. But I do think it is also important to take care of your physical being. A few days ago, immediately after I submitted my last final, I had a haircut scheduled. I was long overdue for a haircut because this is my go-to hair place. I've been going there for the past year or so. And whenever I get a haircut, I always feel like I'm glowing up. There are a lot of other things that you can do to take care of your physical being. You can also visit your other necessary doctors, such as physical therapy, getting your annual checkup, which I know can seem more like a chore than like a self-care thing, but I know it is like probably more helpful in the long run and definitely necessary. You can also get a massage. I've been needing to go to the chiropractor and acupuncturist for a while, so immediately after I finish this, I'm gonna make an appointment to my chiropractor and acupuncturist I haven't been to in a very, very long time. And thankfully with my school insurance, it's 100% covered. So there's like no excuse, at least for me, in terms of financial barrier as to why I can't go to the doctors, because I also know doctors are expensive, at least in America. So make those appointments, especially if it's covered by insurance, and especially if you're not feeling well. 2 more things to heal your physical body. The first is you can also exercise. I know food and like diet is like aligned with exercise, but I'm just gonna put that as an asterisk as opposed to an actual thing, and I'm gonna put more emphasis on exercise. I've been trying to like move my body more. I'm back to taking fitness classes, and every single time I take a fitness class, I feel better. So I'm gonna try to take a fitness class tomorrow or sometime this weekend. Okay, the last thing is, I would say like the most important thing that you can do for your physical being, and that is to sleep. I know that when I was burnt out, slowly becoming a past tense. I would say most of it was because I was not sleeping enough or I wasn't sleeping well. Even on days when I would like try to like force myself to sleep early and wake up a little bit later so I have more hours, I still would like not really be fully well because I was just so anxious and I was just so tired that I couldn't relax. I don't know how that makes sense, but it does. I had like a lot of trouble falling asleep even though I was very tired and I was tossing and turning a lot. But at the end of the day, having some like good quality sleep for a solid week is very, very important and something that I aggressively lacked. So definitely not taking that for granted. And look at me. My thing is drying up. I started off with the chamomile concentrate anti-blemish mask, which usually when I do this mask, I'll put this on and I'll let it dry. And then once it's done drying, I will use this, which is the purifying facial exfoliant paste, to give it like a little bit extra exfoliation, so I feel like I'm double exfoliating. Plus, before that, I was using, I'm almost done with this, Kate Somerville Eradicate Daily Foaming Cleanser. This is a sulfur cleanser, and so it's also exfoliating. I usually only really use it on days when I feel like I'm really breaking out. But as a reminder of like in terms of like skincare stuff, after we do all these exfoliatings, we have to repair our skin barrier and let our skin heal. In addition to your routine and working on your physical health, it's important to do things that make you happy. This is something that is part of my routine and also makes me happy and is no surprise to anyone, but making matcha. I think it can be really challenging to do things that make you happy when you really don't even have time to rest. But I do think it is important to try to incorporate like small things as much as you can. And like I said, like for me, and if you watch my videos and you know, then that is making matcha. I try to make matcha like every day as like part of like grounding down, and also because it's something that really makes me happy. It does make a big difference in boosting my mood and like keeping me at like a happy equilibrium. I really do think there's like a lot of things that you could do. One thing that's been really helpful for me is having at least one thing that I look forward to at the beginning of the day. Let me just quickly finish what I was just saying. And if you're not sure what makes you happy because you're so in a burnout that you can't even really bring yourself out of it, something for me that always helps is talking to my friends. And so scheduling a call with close friends where you know you don't have to put that much energy into the conversation and you can just be yourself, which is really important. Go to a museum, go to a bookstore. Like, these are all things that make me happy, so I don't know if they make you happy. Getting food that I really like or eating food that I really like. Going to Papa Bagels, which recently opened on the Upper West Side, and I'm so excited to go like way too often. I'm tempted to go today, which is ridiculous since I went like 2 days ago. There's so many things. Wow. Speaking of reading books, one of my favorite things is reading in Central Park. So I love Central Park so much. This will truly heal everything that this past semester has brought upon me, and I feel so much better. I'm currently reading If Beale Street Could Talk. I've been reading this for a very long time, but hopefully I'm gonna try to finish it within the next few days. I'm excited.